Well, welcome everybody. Start off with we've got just me and Mr. Mike Zapcic here. Ming will be along a little bit later, hopefully. So, how things been going, Mike?
Great, Scott Hoverman. How are you? Always remember to one of the biggest things we tell. Always introduce yourself. You are Scott Hoverman,
Oh, yeah.
and you're the host of 3 Alarm Comics, the 3 Alarm podcast.
Something's kind of weird. Your audio is going in and out, back and forth. I'm not sure what happened. As soon as we went live, it started happening.
Am I okay now? Can you hear me? Am I still?
I can hear you. It just like cuts out halfway between it was earlier, but that's okay. We'll figure it all out. Yeah, still doing it.
So every third word, I'll just do a lot of adverbs and adjectives. How about that?
Yeah, just cuss a lot. That's what I have to do, and then we'll bleep. It'll automatically bleep those parts out,
or won't. Those. That'll.
All right. Well, kind of what we talk about. Everything's going on this week with fandoms going on. DC's making all these announcements. As I was telling you earlier, I really haven't kept up with much of it other than seeing the new Batman trailer. What's your thoughts on it so far?
He's not my Batman. So, I mean, Robert Pattinson, he's sparkly. I mean, he might be a Batman, but he's not my Batman. And I'm getting older, Scott. What can I say? We're aging comics thing. And now I know how Bob Kane felt.
Well,
I'm in a box full or a bed full of money.
I don't know. Everybody still kills him, or they get on to me about it. But I still, Michael Keaton still is one of my favorite Batman of all time, and not just the fact he was the first major film one, but I just loved his portrayal and everything about it.
Oh, he was great. I mean, you can't go wrong with Michael Keaton. Even though I was worried, because I knew him from
Mr. Mom.
A lot of people knew him from Mr. Mom, but I was a big fan of his from way back. Did Night Shift with Ron Howard. That was like one of his roles. Him and Henry Winkler. Ron Howard directed, and he was Billy Blaze. He was an idea.
Yep. I forgot all about that, to be honest with you.
It was a great movie. Shelley Long. Oh God. I was like, wow, Shelley Long. And but we were all worried about him as Batman because we're like, skinny Batman, that's gonna suck. Work out.
Short Batman.
Yeah, but by the same token, Christopher Reeve was like 105 pounds or 130 pounds when he first started. He was 6'2", 130 pounds. So you're like, wow, what are we? He weight trained for that, and he got in shape for it. And Michael Keaton might not have done that, but he was
got a pretty bodysuit.
There were rubber muscles. Who cared?
Exactly.
As Batman, he was a great Bruce Wayne. And if you're a great Bruce Wayne, the rest is cream cheese. It's the rest. If you can't be Bruce Wayne, why even bother Batman?
Well, I kind of cheated a little bit. I don't know what the deal is this week. We normally get our DC books in on. We've been getting like the Fridays before.
Right.
This week we actually got them the Thursday before.
Wow.
So I kind of cheated a little bit and started reading the 3 Jokers, and I want to talk about it, but I don't want to ruin anything for anybody when they come out.
We'll do it afterwards, Scott, because I too cheated and I read. So we get our stuff in on Friday, and yeah, I'm with you. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So.
Well, I've been very happy, after everything else, I was kind of very, very upset with DC whenever they started, doing their own distribution and everything else. But I have to admit, I have not had a single damage or a single shortage since this has started. Not from their end.
Funny you should say that. I had damage. This is the first time I've had damages from the DC guys, and they were on top of it. They were great. They're like, put them aside and. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it continues on, and actually, believe it or not, Diamond's gotten better for me as well. But yeah, I'm getting back to the whole Batman thing. For me, I guess, like I said, we're kind of aging ourselves on out of the whole thing. But for me, Christopher Reeve will always be Superman.
True.
And Michael Keaton will always be Batman, and of course, from here on out, though, Gal Gadot will always be Wonder Woman.
Well, then you're not really aging yourself out. As long as you keep an open. Linda Carter is always my Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, she is mine too. But given the option, I prefer to look at Gal Gadot. Well, I don't know those. You know what? That's somebody I have to say. As she grew older, Linda Carter actually got more and more beautiful. You can't say that about many people in period, but as she got older, even now, she is still just drop dead gorgeous.
I know she's 70.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's 7, and wow, I'd be so lucky.
Jeez. Whoever her husband is or boyfriend nowadays, that's who's lucky.
But comic book.
I'm sorry, you broke up on me for a second.
And so we almost had Linda Carter on Comic Book Man.
Oh, see, that would have been fantastic. I got somebody sitting here trying to get in the shop, but we're long closed.
You're screwed, pal. No, she wanted to bring her 40-piece band. She's really into her music now, and there was absolutely no way we can fit 40 pieces in the secret stash. So we're like, you're gonna have to give you a hard pass on that.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have her in there, but yeah, that's just not a conceivable thing that you can do and still film and everything else. So, have y'all started talk about doing anything else? Maybe I know you can't really do Comic Book Men. I don't even know if we've ever talked about this before. You can't necessarily do Comic Book Men again, but especially with this new streaming platform and everything else, have you considered maybe even doing a Comic Book Men-esque thing? Are you allowed to, or anything like that?
Well, Walt and Brian podcast called Tell 'em Steve Dave, and they're on Patreon. So Ming and I have gone with them and one of the showrunners for Comic Book Men, and we've been doing a play-by-play, sort of like the Office ladies on The Office. So we're doing the definitive. It's called Behind the Fake Counter, the definitive story of Comic Book Men, and we give behind the scenes stuff that went on, and what was going through our minds at the time, and it's actually a pretty cool podcast. So
well, actually, what I was thinking about doing your Jackass and flashback with episodes of Comic Book Men.
No, not gonna. Although,
well,
Jackass flashbacks.
I'll tell you, I've tried turning a lot of people onto it. This is one of those things. Whenever I'm making long trips or just driving somewhere, I'll turn it on and put it on the radio, and that will help pass the time more than anything I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, next one up is View to a Kill. We're gonna tackle James Bond.
Wow. Maybe we ought to get you had me thinking for a while what I could do, and I was thinking, maybe we ought to do, and we could even bring a special guest in to give us some background stuff. Would be do a Dazed and Confused Jackass and flashback, but have Jason in here with us as well.
That'd be pretty cool. We try to stay away from comedies as much as possible because comedy funnier than it's supposed to be, unless it's a really shitty comedy. But yeah, maybe that sounds like fun.
Oh, we'll figure out something. But so this week at the shop, anything really good that's been selling lately, or going well, or?
I'm trying to think. All of our Marvel titles go fairly well. Darth Vader, that's been a consistent seller for us. It's odd.
The Star Wars stuff is hit or miss because, like Dr. Aphra, I'll maybe sell a handful of copies, but then Vader, of course, I'll sell well. The regular Star Wars title, I'll sell well, but then some of the side item things I've seen. What is the one that just came out? Oh crap, I'm drawing a blank now, but it actually has outsold all of them for me.
Bounty Hunters, that
was it.
Ming Chen's here. Ming Chen needs 2 seconds.
Oh,
I guess I'm gonna
let's see.
But here's the thing.
You can stay.
All right, I can do both. Do whatever because this is America, and this is this is completely not comic book related, but I just was watching The Last Dance. It's the Michael Jordan documentary.
Okay.
And it was, like I said, not a sports guy. I'm really not. And I grew up around basketball. All my brothers played basketball. I hated basketball. It was amazing. It was a really great documentary. I don't even know what you would call it. I appreciate the spectacle that was Michael Jordan at the time.
He's a super.
He is.
Super.
Yeah, he is
Yep.
a real life superhero. Chen, ladies and gentlemen, Ming Chen, real life superhero, and he was that guy who did it better than everybody else.
Right.
And that's something that I truly appreciated about him. But to watch somebody's career, his entire, how long was he in the league? He was 1984, 83. Whenever he signed, 83 or 84, to 1998. That compressed into 10 episodes. It seems like you're doing it a disservice, but you aren't.
Uh-oh.
How about I'm?
There we go.
Oh, we're back. All right.
Well, I hear you.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, that phone.
I just can't see you. There. Wait, well, I see Ming now.
Ming, do I have to move over?
Y'all might have to get a little bit closer within that 6 feet.
You don't have to. Well,
We'll move.
you can.
Well,
That's
the
your,
one
your
cool thing I
fine.
love about
I'm good.
with Michael Jordan though is Michael Jordan was to me was, you always had Larry Birds, you had other people, that were great superstars in the realm of sports, but to me, Michael Jordan was the first person who ever became a celebrity, a personality out of sports, because he took it places that no other sports entertainment person ever had before.
True. Mainly because he was so not. I'm trying to think of. He was non-controversial.
Right. He was very
was-
charismatic.
Yes, and you wanted to get to know the dude. You're like, oh my God, he is so, and he pushed everybody else to be better.
Right.
And that's a sign of a true champion.
Well, see, I was watching a thing similar, in the world of comedy. Kevin Hart apparently is really big on, giving back into these things where he now that he's reached a plateau, he's doing things sort of like what Michael Jordan did too, to get people, to help people on their path to get up to his level, or try to get up to his level. So, a lot of the celebrities, especially from that generation, that era, have actually done more to help out people under them than they've even done for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at what he did for Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen, and it was illuminating, I should say. So,
Like I said, superhero. The man can literally fly. That's all you need to know. The man can literally fly.
He doesn't need that trampoline to jump on. He just goes.
He did not.
well,
use the trampoline.
here's the thing, and this pretty much sums up who and what Michael Jordan became. When he signed with Nike, they were a nothing outfit. They basically did tennis shoes, and they had Arthur Ashe was the biggest celebrity that they had under their their
Mike,
eye.
you could have been wearing Air Arthurs, man.
I should have been
Would have
wearing
been
it.
awesome.
But they signed him for $250,000, and that was the biggest payday anybody had ever, any basketball player had ever gotten. And they had hoped to sell $5 million worth of shoes over 3 years. They sold $147 million in the first year.
Good
That's
return on
crazy.
investment.
That is insane. And they put Nike on the map. And this is how cool this man is. When he was on the Olympic Dream Team, Reebok had paid millions upon millions of dollars to get their name on every bit of swag that everybody wore.
Right.
And he was so committed to Nike, he wore the flag over the Reebok symbols.
Wow.
So he's.
I'm gonna have to check out the documentary. That sounds like it's pretty
It's
interesting.
fantastic. And like I said, I am not a sports guy.
And is it on Netflix or
Well,
Amazon
Mike gets tired of watching sports.
I did. It's,
he gets winded and sweaty watching
I can't
sports.
watch the Triple Crown because I'll have a heart attack.
But, yeah, I think again, it's like a real life superhero, a documentary about a real life superhero.
And
I can't think of anybody else who would even come close. In
there are
form. I mean,
they were talking about like Gretzky, the way that they changed the game. Gretzky to a lesser extent, although Gretzky's, he's God to all hockey.
right?
People.
80 hockey players, yeah.
Any hockey fan is, Gretzky. But, to everybody else out there, it's Babe Ruth and maybe
Jesse Owens, maybe.
Or Bo Jackson.
Yeah, because everybody out there is still talking about Jesse Owens.
Sure.
Although you did, so
again, hated
you
Nazis,
made a point.
hated Nazis too.
Nazis hated
again,
him.
Another real life.
He was on Hitler's hit list. Hitler had a hit list.
Really?
Yeah, and Jesse Owens, because Jesse Owens embarrassed the living shit out of Hitler. I don't think Hitler even shook his hand at the 36 Olympics.
Really? Okay, I didn't realize all that.
Yeah, actually, read Freedom Fighters. That told me a lot of stuff. So,
The original series or the new series?
No, the newest one by Robert Venditti.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I met Rob years and years ago when he was pushing. Oh God, what was he was working for? Top Shelf, I think.
No, I'm kidding. Oh,
but I forget what book he was writing at the time, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go and write. I got an opportunity to write Green Lantern for DC, and I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to play by their rules." And next thing you know, he's blown up, and
and he could, And I'm sorry, he wasn't selling crack. I swear to God.
Well, he might have been, but everybody's got to do what they got to do to survive.
All right,
You don't know that.
All right. Well, as far as I know, he wasn't selling crack, so that's good. But go read Freedom Fighters because that was really well done as well.
Okay. I love the original series. Well, I say original series, the stuff I read from back in the 70s and everything. I loved reading all of those, of course. And that's one thing I think is missing for a lot of things is getting back to some of the old Golden Age characters and telling stories. Like, I mean, even that latest run of Justice Society was, well, I say latest, but that was 10 years ago.
Jeff Johns one,
and was to me was brilliant. I loved the series, but
it was fantastic. Actually, I'll go you one better. Go to the one even before that, the one by Len Straczewski and Mike Parabek. I mean, it was supposed to be an ongoing series. They made it into a 10-issue limited series.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
the Parabek, and talk about an artist who was taken too soon. But his rendering was so kick-ass. It was amazing. And that set the foundation, in my opinion, for the David Goyer, Jeff Johns, James Robinson run. It started out as David Goyer and Jeff Johns.
Well, what was it? I kept trying to remember. We were talking about this. Speaking of guys who've been around for a while, but I remember years ago, somebody who's now hit it big, just like Jeff Johns has. I think the first time I ever met him was, I'll say his name in a little bit, but first time I ever met him was he was working for Golden Apple. He was the gopher for, wasn't it Flair was their mascot character or whatever?
Golden Apple Comics in Hollywood?
Yes. Back in the 80s, they had it was their Bad Girl book. I want to say it was Flair or one of those, something similar to that.
Okay, that was American. Who published it? It wasn't Comico. It was American somebody. American Comics.
Yeah.
Is that
so
what
they
it
did?
was?
That one. They did She-Cat and all these other silly ones too. But I remember going up there and seeing, and this guy was the model who was the inspiration and the cosplayer for this character. Bendis was her gopher. He was the one sitting there, like going and getting her drinks and everything else.
Wow. Well, he ain't gonna. People get him drinks now. So.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty funny. Yeah, nobody is an overnight sensation.
He survived the DC the snap over at DC. I guess.
Is that what they're calling it now? The DC
that's
snap.
what I'm calling it. Even though they wiped out probably more than half their,
Yeah,
their
right,
staff,
yeah.
right?
The blip.
Yeah, the blip, yeah, whatever you want to call it. So
I'm not sure where this came from, but James is asking, did Ming eat sugar-free gummy bears? I'm not sure.
I did not, but somebody there's a woman every time she sees me at a con, and I think this is the one at Magic City in Birmingham. She brings me a 5-pound bag of gummy bears. So, but those have sugar in it. So
Are those the special gummy bears?
no, they're
Oh,
they're,
you kidding? You know what the street value of that 5-pound bag
Yeah.
is?
they're unleaded gummy bears as far as I
Wow.
know. Yeah.
No, speaking of which, well, even though it's not it's I guess it's half leaded.
Oh yeah,
Kayla was nice enough.
Big news.
Kayla was nice enough. They contacted, or I contacted them after seeing them on y'all's stuff,
Yeah.
and they ended up sending us some samples down. And the sad part is I don't know. I keep hearing different schools of thought. I'm afraid to try them. They're the Kalo drinks that are
Right.
hemp-
They're
CBD
hemp infused. They have I think
But-
they're CBD, but
Yeah.
I think your profession you get tested, correct?
Well, I do, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to try it, because knowing my luck, it's just like with non-alcoholic beer, it still has trace
Mhm.
amounts of alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you read, it'll say it'll have trace. Well, with my luck, I have such a low tolerance to medication and everything anyway. My luck is I'll take one sip and come up hot on a drug test. So
That's
I
one
can't
thing.
try them.
I don't
But
think
they
have THC.
Smell good. What's that?
I don't think they have THC in them.
You popped one open.
They-
right?
yeah,
What did you smell?
It smelled like
It
pot.
smelled like
Oh,
weed.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Well,
smelled
and that's
like
the thing
Kevin's
is,
jacket.
Yeah. It smelled like.
I've done a lot of research on them, and what it is, they'll still. It's one of those things where I guess depending on how they process it, if it's cold pressed or something like that, it's completely THC free. But if they use any other type of thing, there are still trace amounts of THC. I mean, it's like drinking an O'Doul's or something like that.
Right.
You have to drink 100 of them to get the equivalent of one beer.
Yeah, and you'll piss yourself by that time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here's mine.
Yeah, we'll give them a plug. They're a Jersey-based company. They're up in Lincoln Park, I think, something like that. Lincoln
Nice.
Park, New Jersey. They're local.
Yeah, there you
They've been beyond nice. I saw them. They're like, "Hey, we'll send you some," and then they sent more, and then I think they're sending even more. And then I did,
Nice.
I did a little unboxing when they sent them. I thought we were just gonna get one shipment, but like it seems like every month they send a little.
Oh, great!
couple
Then
boxes
every
over.
month we'll unbox them.
But I think it works in here. They're kind of their tagline. Not to turn this into a commercial, but it's just feel good is their tagline. So drink what makes you happy. It definitely takes an edge off. If you ever wake up and you're a little anxious,
And you have a month to detox later on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't get you super high or anything. It just kind of mellows you out, and
I think I'll wait.
yeah, it's good. But I don't know, like
Did you read the stuff that came with them? They even give you suggestions to use them as mixers as well.
Yeah, I saw that, and there's a little card in there. They have their own like Spotify playlist, so it's
What? I don't know that.
You didn't get the card? I'll send you. The
I
card.
probably did. I didn't notice it. But yeah, those guys are really nice. Like I said, he just called up and said, "Hey, if you want just some samples, we'll send them over to you." And
Great.
I took them to the vape shop that does sell CBD stuff anyway. Let them try them. They seem to love them. So I think
Yeah,
we're
they
going to go in and start carrying stuff.
They should stock as just a higher quality product, in
Yeah.
my opinion. We're big on beverages here.
And it's a less alcoholic version of White Claw. So
I mean,
and
it's
better tasting.
there's no alcohol in it.
Yeah, there's no alcohol in it.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you
So
can always
swing-
add some.
Swing the other way. Just little specialness in there for sure. Well, that's cool. We're Kalo brothers, I guess. Then
Yeah. I mean,
right on, man.
Kalo brothers from another Kalo mother. I don't know.
Now, Scott, thank God we've got the big TV here because I can see that you've got the Negan Lives Silver and Negan Lives Gold.
Yeah. Whoa. What the?
Yes.
They're graded, bro.
The graded.
What did they
Wow.
come back at?
The gold came back as a 9.6. The silvers came back as a 9.8.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Like where? Come
I
on.
know, I know.
Where? I
That's
want to
like,
know where they saw the
well,
0.2 to take off.
I kind of blocked them, but these two here, thanks to Mike.
Oh yeah. What,
Oh, cool. Very nice.
What is that?
So
Those are the Legends of the Dark Knight.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
The Dark Knight's heavy metal.
You got prices on those, Scott, for anybody that might be interested?
The variant came back as a 9.6, and then I ended up having, after everybody picked up all their stuff, at the end of the week I had 5 left. I sent them all 5 in, and they all came back as 9.8s.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, yeah, I actually already sold. I had the Negan Lives bronze. It's already sold on eBay and got shipped out yesterday.
Yeah, nice.
That one actually was surprised me more than anything of what it went for.
I'm not going to ask you numbers, so I don't want anyone breaking into your place.
Yeah, you know what I'm asking.
I mean, bother me. I learned a long time ago. I don't keep anything in the shop worth more than about $500.
Smart.
Everything else is in safety deposit boxes and safes and things like that. So, I mean, even now, like I said, I've got a couple of copies of Amazing Fantasy 15, and I've had a lot of people wanting to see them. They were my dad's copies. You know, he bought them off the rack decades ago. And my rule on those is, unless they want to bring in a $10,000 money order or a cashier's check, just as proof that they are really interested in buying it and not just want to put their grubby mitts on it.
Yep.
I'll go get it out of the safety deposit box and schedule a time for them to come see it. But I've only had 2 people actually do it so far.
Yeah.
Bring you $10,000? Nice.
Well, they just have to have the cashier's check or the money order as a deposit.
Yep.
Which if they don't buy it, they get the money back. But at least shows me that they're actually serious about wanting to possibly purchase it.
Someone comes in cash, just follow them out and close the shop for 5 minutes. And grab your stock full of quarters.
Yeah, I want to know how you got those back so fast from CGC, my friend.
I had those 2 back for a while. There's a thing you can do with CGC called fast tracking.
Sure, but I haven't gotten it back that quick, dude. That's
it depends on the book, but it'll cut the wait time down by at least half.
Yeah. I recommend anyone watching out there. Yeah, pay the extra
$40.
$40, totally worth it.
It's extra like $10 per book or something like that just to get them done.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it's only $10 extra per book to get them fast tracked. And really and truly, I think those I just hit at the right time. Their normal turnaround time was 23 days, and that's what you got. So that's 5 weeks or 4.5 weeks because it's only 5 days a week. But fast tracking brought it down to like 12 days, and they even got it done earlier than that. So I think I had them back in 8 days.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Right on, man. Well, good luck. I imagine they're for sale for the right price.
Oh yeah, everything here is for sale for the right price, including me. Well, I may not be for sale, but you know what? I can be rented.
Your kidneys, your lungs, all of it.
Nobody
wants my kidneys anymore, or my liver.
If I understand right, you guys sold yours even before they saw air, basically. Yeah. Which is awesome.
Well, one of our gold came back damaged, so, and then the other thing came in damaged as well. So our replacement copy came in damaged. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
I was talking to somebody else on that too, and apparently, I think the screw up was in it all came through UCS like that. The screw up was I think there was actually supposed to be a B cover of it, and the people that ordered the B cover, whatever they got pulled, got that 1 in 25.
Okay.
And that's how a lot of them got out. There's kind of like, I don't know I can't remember the guy's name now. I think his last name's Chow, did a store exclusive of a Venom cover. And somehow or another, things got screwed up. They called him up and told him he was going to get them a couple of weeks late after the normal release date. Well, apparently they were printing the 1 in 100 and the his exclusive cover at the same printer.
Oh God! And they got to make.
Well, what they did, they double covered them. So basically, they ended up they know 2 cases of them got out. So like 450 copies of it's his cover on the outside, but the 1 in 100 cover on the inside.
No kidding. Oh wow!
But the problem is, he got none of them. They went out to the people who were serviced out of Olive Branch. And those went to people who actually got the 1 in 100s. Those went out, and then there were errors. And of course, they were told, destroy them, return them. But the books were selling for $500 to $700 a piece now, and people are returning that shit.
Yeah, I'm going to destroy that. I'm going to destroy $600. Thank you.
No. Oh yeah, but so yeah, it's kind of amazing. I understand the guy. If you ever get a chance to watch the interview with him, it's kind of odd because he's actually going on now on eBay and trying to find the books to buy up because he wants them because he didn't get any of them. And this is the guy who paid to have the cover done, paid to bought all the books and everything else.
My God, that's just insane.
So it actually, well, we had that issue too. We did that cover with Jen Broomall for G.I. Joe.
Right.
We were doing it in conjunction with Pensacon, and we're still unsure what happened, what went along. The books actually didn't even ship until 3 weeks after Pensacon, so we didn't even get them for it.
I tend to just blame the Chinese in these situations, my friend. So it seems to work out.
Well, I think most of the books are printed up in Canada now, aren't they? Quebecor and
oh wow,
You're
we can
right.
blame the French Canadians. Well, that's even better than I got
Take
no
some heat off my family.
I got no love for them. So yeah, I got no love.
Really?
Well,
Wow.
they're trying to secede. Like, come on. Other poutine, man, poutine's good. That's
Poutine
where
is
they
amazing,
redeem
yeah.
themselves.
oh yeah. Well, we have something similar. We have our we call them debris fries.
Debris fry, yes.
Well, we call them disco fries down here, but that's okay. That's
Yeah.
for another time.
Yeah.
Disco fries. I'm about to
Disco
check.
fries. Yeah, disco fries. It's melted cheese and brown gravy. Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, Scott, at 4 a.m. when you're drunk off your ass, perfect.
Disco fries.
See, we have something similar. We call them debris fries, where it's the same thing as melted cheese, brown gravy, but it's also shredded roast beef in it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you got to do pot roast.
Mushrooms and onions. Yeah, pot roast, mushrooms, onions, and if you're fun, you could actually even throw some crawfish tails in there. Whatever
God
you
bless
want.
you, New Orleans.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Love you guys.
Scott, we can't wait to get down there is what we're saying.
Well, like I said, I'm gonna put Mike. Hopefully, I talked to Mike Inslee, tried to get him to join, but I think I'm gonna put Mike on the spot and or Mike Inslee, and I know you're already scheduled to come for Pensacon, but
Yes,
I've already talked with Mike, and you know what? Come hell or high water, Mike's gonna come down too. Mike Inslee. Or Mike Zapcic's gonna
Mike
come down.
Zapcic.
Mike Zapcic. Yeah,
Mike
let's
Zapcic.
go with Mike Zapcic.
Yeah, put him to work. He'll do line control. He'll DJ.
No, I won't.
He'll
No, I
you
won't.
want DJ?
I'll DJ.
Yeah, 80s music.
I'll do all 80s.
Yeah,
All 80s all the time.
that sounds like a Mike Ensley playlist, so
All right,
you'll be
cool.
fine. Well,
Oh yeah.
Judge cosplay. Didn't we do midnight like a match game? Didn't we remember?
Yeah,
And
we
then-
did. We did play match game.
And I remember some girl was like, "Here, drink this." It was some purple. It was some purple.
It was a
drink
hallucinogenic.
in, yeah, it was a purple drink in a water bottle, and that was fun. So yeah, thank you.
Ming Chen will do anything you tell him.
Hey
folks.
man, anything for anything for Pentacon, anything for Pentacon.
That was great. We met Matt Ryan down there.
Super nice guy.
Oh, what an amazing guy. We were hanging out with him and
Did you go to Whataburger with him?
no,
Dude, he loved Whataburger.
no, we went out to dinner. Don't you remember? Did you come out with us?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, we ended up at McGuire's late
Yes.
at night. Yeah, I remember shutting it down.
Yeah.
Him and somebody else who loves Whataburger, but he only likes one thing over there is Simon Bisley. They introduced him to biscuits and gravy
Oh,
from
God.
Whataburger, and don't get me wrong, it's a decent biscuits and gravy, but it's not biscuits and gravy.
Not awesome.
No.
But he thinks that is the most. He thinks that was God's gift to freaking food. He wanted it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything.
Oh, yeah. Once you find something and you're like, I love this, like country fried steak.
Oh.
Once you get good country fried steak, you don't want anything else.
I'm a little jealous. Can you imagine like going back to that moment where you had biscuits and sausage gravy for the first time?
Oh my God, I do remember that, and yeah, that was in college for me.
I think the first time I ever had it was out of the military, but it wasn't. There was no sausage. It was the chip beef. So we had that.
Chip beef on toast. Yeah.
So they called it shit on the shingle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to more shelf stable. I guess the air dried beef.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, it won't make you a throw like when George's dad cooked that army dinner and
Yeah.
everyone got sick in Korea.
But yeah, it's a really good stuff. Let's see. Check on see who's coming in. Yeah, Daniel
Ratliff, what's up, Daniel? And I saw somebody said, "Hey, come get fed at the shed," which rhymed.
Yes, yeah, we actually
Andrew Giles, man.
We were actually there not long ago. Yeah, Mike, we got to get you. Like I said, and I said I'm dedicated to this. When y'all come, I said we're going to get you to stay a couple extra days or come a little extra early.
Oh yeah.
Ming's been before. We're going to take you to the shed, get you some good old barbecue, and
Oh hell yeah.
Basically, I said you'll like the place. It was built with junk, quite literally.
Perfect.
Donated stuff that was come along.
I've built a couple of restaurants that way myself. I've helped make other people's dreams come true. So yeah.
It is. It's coronavirus friendly. It's
Nice.
kind of like outdoor dining, anyways. So it's awesome.
Yeah, matter of fact, you had the little indoor places, the benches, but now you can't even really sit in there. Everything's outdoor in the fresh air, and like I said, it's one of those things. More the experience. If you ever want to kind of get a chance to see what it's like, they had a show on Food Network for about 2 years, and they actually did pretty well with it.
Okay.
Right on, man.
Cool.
As good as their food. That's awesome.
Speaking of which, this weekend, non-comic related.
Okay.
I did make for the very first time Nashville hot chicken.
Okay.
Nashville hot chicken patties. Because somebody said make the patties.
What were the patties made out of?
Chicken.
Okay.
Which I ground myself.
Ground chicken, yeah.
Ground chicken, pepper jack cheese. I made a panade. And this stuff.
What's a panade?
Panade is a binder. It's like breadcrumbs and milk is a panade.
Okay.
So
wow, I've never heard that term
whenever
before.
you make, it's a culinary term. Whenever you make meatballs, you're making a panade. So I made this kick-ass panade with every kind of spice you would want and Frank's hot sauce. I actually use shallots and fresh long hots. Holy crap, was this great!
I'm gonna have to send you up a thing of our favorite spice in the world. If you don't
have it on hand.
Oh my god!
Scott Hoverman.
I always keep this around.
Oh yeah. Tony.
Yeah. Gutierrez.
If you're in New Orleans, you get caught without that. I think you get killed.
Well, they have it in all the.
Can y'all get that up there?
I have seen it.
Amazon, buddy. Amazon can get us anything.
Especially gourmet shops. So we have a place called Sickles Market. They probably have it.
Well, I could just run to the Dollar General right up the road and grab a couple of things and mail it up to you. It'd probably be cheap.
Really? Because Sickles is probably charging $83.
Yeah, they probably.
I want to say that this little one here is maybe about $3 up the road.
Yeah. Right on a panade. All right, I learned something.
Panade, yes.
Panade. That's awesome.
And I'll bring you one. I've got in the freezer. I've got 10 pounds of Nashville hot chicken.
Nashville. I'm tempted to try that. I mean, I love my chicken and everything else. So you just made it into hamburger or a turkey?
Yeah, you make it into like
make a patty and put it on the grill.
Yeah, but don't put it on the grill. I flour, dredge it in milk, and then panko breadcrumbs, and then you fry it, and then you finish it in the oven because they're frozen, and that's the only way to like make sure that they stay, nice and stuck together.
Right, with the panade.
And so it was amazing. I made homemade ranch dressing on a nice brioche roll. Oh,
I'll tell you, you want to. We were playing around. One of our good friends has a food truck around here. Normally, he does chicken wings, and I mean, that's what he's known for. Is he's the wing king of Ocean Springs, and but he decided to do something else. So he wanted to do a chicken fried steak burger. That's what made me think of what you talked about earlier. And so he did the same thing. He got the steak, the cube steak.
Right.
He floured it or he breaded it or whatever, and he put it in the grease, fried it up. But then we were trying to figure out what would go well with it because he didn't have white gravy or anything else. I was like, I got to look and I said, why don't we put some teriyaki on there? Because I have some Asian coleslaw as well. So we ended up putting teriyaki, Asian coleslaw, and bread and butter pickles on it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I never in my life thought I would want to eat an Asian chicken fried steak. I'll take that over the white gravy version any day.
Wow. Okay.
Fusioned it, man. Nice.
Yeah.
It was honestly probably one of the most incredible things I'd eaten in a long time.
It was weird. We went to an Asian fusion food truck, and they had remember the lo mein tacos.
It
They had
was in,
lo mein tacos.
It was it was in Evansville, Indiana. I don't even know what we were going to do an interview downtown. We were walking by and it's China. I think the place was literally called China Taco.
Yeah.
And we were like, what the hell is this? It was literally Chinese food in a hard taco shell.
It was
That was the gift. That was it. It was that we thought it was some fancy ass it
was amazing. It was like,
it was
holy
good.
crap.
The guy was like, hey, yeah, lo mein inside of a taco. I was like, all right. Well,
Dude, I'm all about food trucks. Speaking of the fusion stuff, there's one up here. I said no. There's about 10 of them up here, and they one of them does a fruit nachos, and
okay,
it is the tortilla, the chips. They're tortilla flour tortillas that they fry them, then they sprinkle them with cinnamon and sugar, and then it has everything from kiwi, grapes, strawberries, everything else. This homemade whipped cream, and then white chocolate drizzle over the top.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm not even hungry, and I'm getting hungry.
I got to be honest.
I am.
Food trucks are probably going to be the wave of the next 5 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were big back then, but they're going to be even bigger now that people can't eat. Enclosed. Yeah, you have to eat outside on a park bench. Go to the food truck. I'd rather go to a food truck. We've got a guy who he's been selling hot dogs. Actually, he inherited it from his father-in-law.
It's been running that long?
It's been running since God, he's been there at least 50 years.
Damn.
So he bought this corner. It's literally a lot next to the railroad tracks. And he's got a little power hookup, and that's it. And people go in there, and Gus's dogs, I think they're like $1.50, no, $2 a piece. And oh my God, they're well worth the $6 to get your Jones on.
Good stuff. Mike tried to drive the Batmobile over there, and they wouldn't let him.
Those
they wouldn't let him.
Sons of
We were
bitches.
shooting Comic Book Men, and it was the episode where we drove the Batmobile. Mike tried to take a detour over
I was
there,
gonna.
and they're
Yeah.
like, "Do not go get hot dogs.
Do not make a
Do
left
not
turn
make a
at
left-
that light.
Do not get hot dogs. Repeat, no hot dogs."
You are not
Did you
allowed
say you want hot dogs?
in the Batmobile. I'm like, yeah, I am.
Well, I got a chance to finally try something that probably y'all take for granted. I have never had this before in my life, but there's a little food truck that has been showing up in our parking lot about 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I've always heard about it, but Italian ice.
Oh, hey.
A buddy of mine who works for me, he's from New Jersey, New York, and when he tried, he's like, dude, this is exactly what I remember from back home. This is some of the most incredible stuff. And I got to admit, so when I went over there, I was used to the whole shaved ice snow cone kind of thing.
Yeah, that's lame.
And I was asking, I said, when you get a shaved ice or a snow cone, you can get like the sweetened cream to put into it, make it a little bit more creamy. And the girl, when I asked her, she had it. She goes, "Look, sweetheart, you're not going to need that." She goes, I don't have any, but you're never going to need it. And I'll be damned, she was absolutely right. I got the pineapple, mango, and coconut one, and it was heaven on earth.
Did you get the squeeze cup?
No, actually, it just came in a regular plastic cup, but she did have color change spoons.
Right. Well, they have like the squeeze cup. They're paper, and you just squeeze it. And you squeeze it into your mouth.
Oh, jeez. You know, like the little cone ones that like get out of water stuff, like out of water dispensers.
Yeah, like the old Dixie cups.
Yeah.
Except they expand outward, or you can squeeze them inward, and it's amazing.
There's a place up here. I'm actually heading there after we do this. So that's what my kid wants for his birthday. So all right.
Big shout out to Strallo's Lighthouse.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man. Well, like I said, I envy y'all for being able to have this all this time, but now I get to have it at least 3 days a week. So I'm happy now.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad that you discovered that. There's like so much stuff out there that we have yet to discover.
I would probably easily trade Italian ice for crawfish if we could get that up here.
True. We can get crawfish, but we can only get the frozen.
Oh God,
I know.
It's not even close to the same. You can't.
Oh,
You can't.
I
yeah.
know. I've had the
It's like
the
eating
crawfish at
frozen
Touffet.
oysters, bro. Like,
No
oh,
shit.
God.
I'm
So I
telling
will tell you, the
Fuck.
best thing
If
to
you
do
love
with
oysters.
frozen crawfish tails is make a stuffing out of them. Do like stuffed bell peppers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just take them, mix them up with rice and some seasoning and onions and carrots and peas, and just stuff them in the bell pepper, stick them in there and grill them.
I'm just an
Or,
Touffet fan. So.
I freaking Remy LeBeau had it right, man. Freaking, I love it. So, did you talk about any of the reveals yet from yesterday? Did you tune in? Did you? I know
I'll be honest with you,
you got.
we talked about talking about it before we got started, but pretty much neither one of us had the time to really watch a lot of it. So.
Yeah, I didn't watch
really?
a lot. And what else came out of that? They had the Batman trailer, which
Batman,
meh.
Justice League, Wonder Woman, and then
Suicide
the
Squad.
Black Adam stuff was awesome, though.
Okay.
I think I mentioned before. I love it when these huge stars are like, "Oh yeah, I want to do this." Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
it's like Deadpool. I want to do it right. I want to put all my pull, all my power. Screw the suits because I'm not listening to them. I want to do the movie I want to do. And when gold happens, everybody wins. And now the Rock, arguably the biggest star on the planet.
Yeah,
is it wants
there
to
you
do.
go. The Rock is a Michael Jordan.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Wants to do a character that I think not a lot of people know about.
Black Adam?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Nobody knows about
and
him.
he is so excited about this.
He's been talking about wanting to be Black Adam for what, probably about close to 10 years now.
Yeah.
So I have a Black Adam T-shirt.
Oh yeah,
and it's a great T. I love my my China made Black Adam T-shirt, and I wander around. People are like, hey, nice Flash shirt. I'm like, yeah, sure
It's
thing, dickweed.
Black, big bold.
Yeah.
It's even worse when you wear your Shazam shirt and you're like, yeah, that's a cool Flash shirt.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's it.
At least you're not getting beat up.
Yeah, I know.
You're
Yeah.
progression.
Well,
We're getting progressive here.
I do walk around strapped all the time, man. So people know better.
But yeah, he teamed up with Jim Lee to do kind of like a motion teaser trailer. I don't know what you want to call it, but it looked amazing. And he does a voiceover,
Oh, cool.
so he's way involved. And I'm like, dude, all right, this is where
Andrew Giles, don't make that. Do not make that promise.
The barbecue.
Well, see, I don't know if he means that the barbecue, he's paying for the barbecue or he's going to pour it on him.
Either, hey man, if it's from the shed,
don't make either one of those promises.
Yeah, come on.
Ming can eat his weight in barbecue, not including the Snooch from Dallas. Hey,
Paul
hello,
Lara,
Paul.
what's up, Paul? Good to see you. Dallas represent.
But yeah, I've seen Ming eat for such a small frame. I don't know how he can put away so much food.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Well, Scott, it's not easy, and it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. But years of training, years of hard work.
Wasn't the
like a competitive eater there?
That's Houston.
Houston. All right, sorry, it was in Houston. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, I watched him eat. We went to, speaking of the Breakfast Club, we went to a place called the Breakfast Club, and holy shit, did his breakfast was like 4 plates.
Oh yeah.
I mean 4 full-size plates. Mine was only 3 because I'm not a pig. So
you calling me a pig? Hey man, I'll gladly accept that title.
But you ate it all.
I did,
and you started eating stuff off my plate.
I did. It was good.
You son of a
can't-
bitch.
Well, I'll tell you this though, and when we go to Pensacola next year, if we go to Pensacola next year, you talk about McGuire's. So when you went, what did you eat over there?
I had the box teas. I had the strip steak. Yeah, we got a little bit of everything, and then I did that. I didn't
Most
eat
people
it.
don't realize that is an actual. It's more a steakhouse, but people treat it as an Irish bear type thing. Their steaks are some of the best I've ever had in my entire life.
Amen.
Their peppercorn crisp ribeye was.
They were on American Pickers, by the way.
What's that?
They were on American Pickers, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Ask them. I think it was American Pickers. Yeah, it was American Pickers.
They ended up there, and were they eating there?
They were in Pensacola.
They were bills. Or?
Well, what they
did they have some antique on the wall?
They had they asked about all the stuff on the wall, and they brought the brothers in. There were 3 brothers that owned McGuire's, or
that I'm not sure of that, because I know they got one here, or one in Pensacola, and I think one in Fort Walton.
Okay. Well, they had multiple, like all these different accoutrements, and they've got like a room of them, and they went in there and they picked the room. So I was like, Wait a minute, we were there. We
No,
bet the
no,
cat.
yeah,
That's my dollar bill on
Yeah.
the ceiling with my
yeah,
name
that's right.
on it.
Jamie says in Destin, not Fort Walton. Yes, in Destin. I'll tell you one of the things. Whenever you can, I can't wait because so one of the cool things about Pensacon, and I will talk them up like crazy because, like I said, Mike's such a great guy, Mike Ensley. But
I'm
they,
sitting
they
right here.
oh yeah, Mike's Zapcic too.
Thank you.
But they actually have official offices now. They're actually in the fifth floor. They have the entire fifth floor, but it is also a movie and TV museum. So you actually have to have a key to get to the floor. Two of the guys who the silent partners in Pensacon have been buying up movie and TV memorabilia for quite a long time. Like if y'all went to go eat down at the Fish House and everything else, and when you were here, it's the guys who own it. But they had like a Star Trek part, Harry Potter stuff. They had all these props. It's all stuff they personally own.
I
But
think they bought it. They could deck out the restaurant for Pensacon, right?
well, I mean, they owned it beforehand, but they were one of the earlier sponsors that came on board. But when you go into it, you go up the elevator. The elevator opens up, and then as soon as it opens up, there's Dean Cain's Superman outfit on a mannequin, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's entire Terminator outfit,
Nice.
sunglasses and everything on another mannequin. As soon as you open those elevator doors,
It wasn't McGuire's. It was the Fish House. My bad. It was
on American Pickers.
yes, on
Okay.
American Pickers. So
AKA
Oh,
the
the Fish
Star
House,
Trek
yeah.
holodeck,
Yes.
during
yeah,
Pensacon.
that was actually really cool. But they were it was those guys, and I'm assuming they're the ones who are buying all that stuff.
they are they're the ones who they buy a ton of stuff. I mean, when you go up there, you still only get to see a fraction of what they have because they're still trying to get everything. It's been sitting in warehouses, and they've got somebody now finally organizing it and getting it out so they can actually start showing it.
What are they, Randall Hearst?
Well, they got a lot of money.
Yeah, apparently they're okay. They're doing
Yeah.
all right. They're
Oh.
doing all right. Right on, man.
We got Chad Kinsey.
Hey,
in here.
Chad, what's up? What's going on, Chad?
Chad's
Chad?
actually one of he's part of the Love America tour with
Oh,
Corn
yeah.
Dimmick
Oh,
this
cool.
month through. Chad and actually Corn and Chad are supposed to be coming back. Corn had to go off and film, and they had to get the RV back. But I think unless I'm wrong, I think they're going to be back here on Wednesday and kind of get started on that stuff again. So
Did they get the RV back from Billy Batson and Mentor?
Yes.
I'm not sure of what the guy. I know they had the GoFundMe was doing really well, so I know they're about ready to rent another one because I got to talk to them because if they're going to come up to New Jersey, I may see if I
Yeah, we're in for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Well,
100%.
if that's the case, I'm going to take some time off work and I might ride up there with them and
Oh, dude,
fly back.
Come
Or
on
something.
in, man.
you're welcome anytime, man. For sure.
Just
Oh,
go
that
up there
would
and
be
hang out
awesome.
for.
We got some wall space we got to take care of. So yeah, all right.
All right. Well, I can help you out with some of the wall space.
Yeah, we.
But,
figured.
I mean by that I mean taking some stuff down so you have room for other stuff,
Hmm.
and I'll take it back with me.
A lot of
But,
this
yeah,
stuff is one of a kind, but some of it's not. So some of it's just crap. So
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's the reason why I opened a shop to begin with, because all this stuff was at my house and just taking over, and I was like, I had to do something to, get rid of it all.
that's what our wives told us. Get this shit out of our house.
And here it is.
And
ladies
here we
gentlemen.
are.
But I gotta say, the only things I really collect that was the hardest part about becoming a retailer is you cannot, you almost have to give up being a collector.
No, because
You can't have that mentality.
you've got an incredible collection that's all for sale.
Oh yeah, well, but there is some stuff that's not for sale. I said my Legion run. All my duplicates, they went for sale, but I still have my complete run. My Superman family and Batman families, all those. I still have my complete runs of all those, and
Gotcha.
pretty much everything else kind of went to the stock.
Hey, real quick, this question was posed to us this week. We were asked our top 3 Legion of superhero members. If I asked you that, could you name 3 off the top of your head?
I have to say, start off with the two I've always felt, or actually, yeah, I could. Sunboy, I've always been a fan of.
Okay.
Monel, or not Monel, yeah, Monel. Oh no, damn it, not the Monel. Timberwolf and damn it, I can't believe I can't think of his name right now. Ultra Boy.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay.
I think those are amongst our top three.
Yeah,
for sure.
you got it. Monel was my number one, but Timberwolf was in my top three. Ultra Boy just got edged out. He was my honorable mention.
Though I can't say, I guess the ones I actually always really loved, though, I still love, you got to have love for Matter Eater Lad.
Oh, sure. Bouncing Boy.
Bouncing Boy, those ones, Stone Boy,
Yeah.
even the Legion of Substitute Heroes, Prody,
Every one of them, sure. Arms fall off, lad. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Pharaoh Lad, he's got created just to die.
Double header.
Double header. They had some great characters.
Infectious Lass. I mean, she makes
How do you go wrong with that?
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
I mean,
that doesn't sound so cool, but when you need it, it's
yeah.
We know a couple
but
people make people sick too. Is that a superhero?
I don't
There are
know.
a couple people like that.
and the best part was they had great villains too, because like Chemical King, Lightning Lord,
Sure.
Mordru, Paladin, all those were just
King.
great Cosmic King.
Yeah.
They had some great villains.
Mordru. Yeah. Mordru.
Dr. Regulus.
Yeah. These all sound like Star Trek characters.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, but it was just to me. The reading back then was so much fun. I think it's one of the things that I miss more about the stuff nowadays is
can't see it, but I've got
it's
my entire
so.
Legion on there.
Do I know?
I said you can't see it behind me. I've got my entire Legion archives.
I have mine at home. If you want to send some off, I can get them signed and get them back to you. You're supposed to send me that Green Arrow one too.
Oh, you're a man.
Just send them to me and we'll get those taken care of.
You're the best, Scott.
Because Scott's a hell of a guy, my friends.
That's true.
Hell of a
Because I think we're actually thinking about Mike's supposed to be getting. Well, I guess I can say something. He's supposed to be having a big celebration pretty soon, and I'll leave it at that. That we're supposed to be. It depends how things go. We're supposed to drive up there and spend some time with him. So.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
I'll tell y'all after we go off because I'm not sure
Okay.
how much public knowledge it is.
All right, yeah, we'll
Gotcha.
wait. We'll wait just to be safe. Just to be safe.
But that's the one thing I can say through all of this stuff. In the comics retail part, I have to say this is probably my favorite thing about everything else, more than anything else, is the people I got to meet along the way. Because without this, I said I would have never met Mike Grell. I would have never met you two. I would have never. Being able to sit down and have the conversations and talk about some of these things like I am now, because the comic book world has actually helped out in so many ways to let me meet some of the people I actually truly admire.
That is awesome.
You think you got lucky?
Yeah, I know.
look at these two knuckleheads.
We
you're
fell
talking
ass
to.
backwards into it,
Oh
Scott.
God,
so.
yeah, for sure.
Y'all worked your ass off for it too, as well, though. Because I know as well as anybody, it probably wasn't easy. Going from, working the shop all the time to next thing you know, being at a point where, you're not even really working the shop anymore. You're just too busy filming and having to shut the shop down all the time.
It wasn't that hard. Don't.
Nah, yeah,
don't-
it wasn't
No.
terribly
It
difficult.
wasn't that hard at all. Actually.
Yeah, it wasn't. We weren't ditch digging. How about that?
No, we didn't have to. Mike did not have to dig one latrine. at
No,
all.
not one. There are a
Well,
lot
how
of
was
people
it-
out there.
I've never really talked to you about this, but
Sure.
how was it? When things first started off and it started gaining popularity, you know as well as I do. Like when you're working a shop or something like that, you're almost like a small celebrity in this small little percentage of the world. Everybody knows comic book guy. Thank God, not all of them are like the one in The Simpsons. But but then whenever the show started to take off and everything else, when you're walking around town, people would recognize you. Not because of being at the comic shop, but because you were on AMC.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice because most people like the show, so they're like, "Oh my god, we watch the show, we like it." It's nice to. I mean, the opposite would be like, "You suck."
Yeah.
There are people like that.
There were.
There are people
Oh
who
my-
were on shows like that. So
God, well, we were also we had a very small percentage of people who were like, "These guys suck. What a bunch of jerk offs."
and I think we changed their tune. They changed their tune.
They
after
did.
a while. They're like, "Oh, these guys are actually pretty cool."
yeah, they're all right.
They're-
We had CM Punk hated our guts for. I watched like a minute and a half of that show, and then I had to turn it off. It's like, He didn't give us a chance.
Eh,
But
he warmed up to me. We actually had a booth next to each other at a couple Comic Cons, and I think he warmed up to
and
us.
Ron
after that.
Mars actually hated us too.
He
so-
also warmed up,
But
to
he
us
warmed
very
up to
quickly
us as
so,
well.
yeah, for sure.
He's like,
So-
you guys
Well,
aren't bad.
You guys,
I'm not gonna lie.
One person that I will never ever. Actually, there are two, but it's and one goes right into the other. Is Ted Adams from IDW? I will never forgive that man. Just because what he did was like so underhanded and sneaky and kind of slimy. But from what I understand, that's kind of who he is.
He's still
so-
there.
No, he's not.
Okay, I was about to say because
No,
he left.
IDW, yeah.
Yeah, I mean the best part of IDW left recently too. Ryle left too.
Yeah,
so,
I like Chris Ryle,
I love Chris.
but Steve
Chris is actually
Niles.
a super nice guy. Yeah.
Steve Niles actually came after me, and I'm
Really?
like, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like physically?
If he could have,
That-
yeah.
that-
It was horrible.
Geek fight.
He was like saying stuff about me on Twitter. I'm like, who do you think you are? And he was literally cursing at me on Twitter. And I'm like, listen,
It's pretty funny.
you foul mouthed
Did
hooligan.
he say he was drunk or something, or did he give some kind of excuse?
Yeah,
or-
his dog died that day.
Oh
so-
right, his dog died. So he was all
And
emotional.
I-
You tend to be nicer to people. when
Yeah,
your pets
seriously,
die, right?
you
But-
don't do that.
And I don't think
um,
you insulted his dog, right? It
I never said anything about his dog. It was,
I don't even know why he was mad.
Heidi
at you.
McDonald said
Yeah, that
something
bitch.
about- really, you know Heidi McDonald?
No, it's about his dog.
Oh,
he's
okay.
another dog,
Oh,
bro.
I'm like, wow, Heidi. Don't call Heidi McDonald a bit because I didn't even do that. But she quoted something on Reddit as a source for something that she had heard about.
Oh, you want to hear a story real quick? We can tell the story.
Yeah, we can.
Somebody because Heidi McDonald writes for comicbeat.com, the website, and somebody had reported that there was all this stuff going down at the store that we were making fun of handicapped people.
Yeah.
And we were nerd shaming people,
Yeah,
and fat
making-
shaming and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
making all these
and
like just saying the most vile stuff.
yeah, insane accusations.
And we're like,
and
what?
and she wrote an article about it. I'm like, all right.
And it was on Reddit, and yeah, it's stuff that would. And she said, and I quote, and she says this person's like, yeah, I went in there. They made fun of me. They made fun of my gay friend.
One was like, I had my wheelchair in there and I couldn't get out, and they were laughing at me.
They were
and I'm
laughing
like,
at me, and
whoa,
wait a minute, hold on. This perfect storm, this confluence of you came in with someone who was gay, someone else who was in a wheelchair. You had, and I'm like, that has never happened. Where an entire we got
think-
like the. What is it like I don't know. It just was like that perfect storm of, hey, and
Yeah.
we don't do that. People have called us rude, but we're trying to do a job. As well as I do, retail's it's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. And you've got people who come in and because they're like, hi, we came all the way from Oklahoma. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for coming by. If you need anything, let me know.
You're there working. You're not there to take pictures and sign autographs and stuff
we
like
will do that.
totally
We
do that.
absolutely will do that. That's not a problem. I'll stop what I'm doing, but I do have stuff that I've got to get done.
Right.
And I'm sitting there checking in comic books or doing this or doing, we're a fully functional comic book store. And
Right.
people are like, Mike is so rude. Walt is so rude. Walt is a very shy person in real life. He's not as outgoing as TV Walt is. So, it's one of those things. And go ahead, Heidi McDonald.
So she published this article, like, hey, I read all this stuff, and it not only did it make us look bad, not only, that I didn't
But
care.
it wasn't
It
true.
made us look like horrible people, like complete assholes.
And it wasn't true.
And I'm pretty laid back, but I'm like, bro, like you couldn't have asked us about this first before you published
Yeah.
this. Like we're not.
And she puts it on Twitter.
Yeah. It's
And
we're-
I'm like,
we're not unreachable. Like
Yeah.
you could have gotten our.
that's the problem with things like Twitter stuff is everybody thinks they're a reporter now, and there's no fact checking involved whatsoever.
Well, that's exactly what I said to her. I said, is this what journalism's come to?
Yeah.
I said, you don't even check facts.
Right.
You don't call us up and ask us for our side of the story.
Yeah, the
it
numbers
never happened.
public. We're both
Because that's not news. That's not what people will click on.
Yeah.
No, it was clickbait. It absolutely was.
Yeah.
And she she actually was supposed to come down.
Yeah,
to the
we're
store.
like, oh, we want to rebut this.
Yeah.
Like, will you come down? Let's podcast about this. We'll refute everything you just wrote. And one and two, like, when is like Reddit and Yelp or whatever?
When are they
she got this
credible
from,
sources?
When are they cited as
Yeah.
sources? So, what happened? There was a snowstorm that day because she's just up in New York. She never ended up coming down, but I met her at a con later on. And
I mean, let's be honest, that's like using Wikipedia as a source.
yeah,
But she didn't come to me, and
no, she didn't. But,
No, and she didn't say anything to me.
Just kind of,
But it's fine, whatever. I would never go after her for that, and I mean, because that's all in the past. But
Yeah,
Steve
yeah.
Niles came after me
he did. His
because
dog-
I said, since when is this what journalism has
Right.
come down to? Do we not check our
Yeah,
sources?
you like,
And he
came
tore
after
into
you,
me.
man.
And
That
I'm
was
like-
crazy.
And he was cursing, and I said, all right, this is
Yeah.
one of those times where I'm going to step back and take the higher road and not curse at him. I'm like, listen, you foul-mouthed hooligan, how dare you? And I said, we're having a civil discourse here. And he's like, screw you, I'm going to come down there, I'm going to rip off your head and shit down your neck. I'm like, I said 35 Broad Street, Red Bank, New Jersey,
Meet
07701.
me outside.
No, I'm like Northeast Corridor train down from Penn Station.
Right.
Get you here, and it's a 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
I said,
Be
Make-
ready to get your ass kicked by Mike Zapcic.
I'm like, and I think, I called him like a one-trick pony, and he didn't like that.
No,
And
he did not.
he was like, I don't even know who you are. I'm like, well, I know who you are. You're a one-trick pony.
Right.
How's that 30 Days a Night comment? And then he went after me he's like, you're work at a second rate. I'm like, well, then you do know who I am.
Yeah. He was.
I said,
come on.
obviously you do know who I
Yeah,
am.
for
So
sure.
awesome.
Anyways, yes.
But that was fun.
It's not all sunshine
gotta
and
say-
roses here in New Jersey, but
But-
mostly it
But
is.
like, as you say, people who hate us a lot. Thank God that's a very tiny percent. But people who
Right.
love us, they're like, and this is one of the things that the pandemic did for us. People who have never even thought about watching Comic Book Men watch Comic Book Men on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Right.
Now
They're
on
like,
Pluto
oh
TV.
my God,
Now we're on Pluto TV, my friend.
where have you
Yes,
been
I saw
my
that.
entire life? And I'm
Yeah.
like, we were always there. We were on AMC. Why weren't you watching?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
could have gotten an A season out of it if
Well,
you watched.
It was on midnight on a Sunday. I
Yeah,
can't
true.
blame him that much. but-
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, y'all actually, this is kind of what I was getting at earlier when I was talking with before Ming came on was, whether or not you could still continue on doing something like that, at a smaller scale. But actually, now that I think of it, you really are when you're doing the I Sell Comics show.
Oh, yeah.
You're
I
actually
feel
still
like-
doing.
Sure.
You're actually doing the same thing, just on a different level
Yeah.
than being before Walking Dead. Obviously, but you're actually somebody. You're lucky enough, and I'll be honest with you. The
Thank you, Christopher.
I can probably say I didn't hate any of you personally, but as a retailer, watching the show to begin with, I'm looking at the stuff thinking, now people are going to bring that book in and think I'm going to pay them that much for it when it's not even worth that. Well, but what people don't understand is it's all about markets too, because what sells, what you know as well as I do, what sells well up there, I can't give away down here, but
Right.
same thing goes here. Something I can
You
I
can't
can
keep
sell
on the
for
shelf.
I can sell for $100 all day long. You would sell for $1 up there because you can't get rid of them.
Exactly.
That's why we help each
Yeah.
other out, my
Yeah,
friends.
damn straight.
Oh yeah.
It's good to have friends in low places.
Speaking of which, I did I got to get them together, but Ming's gonna or Ming, Mitch Bird's gonna sign and draw on a few of those things to send up to y'all too.
Oh,
That's
man.
damn nice of you.
Thank you.
So hopefully that'll sell. Those continue to sell for you because Mitch to me, I said he is one of my best friends. He lives at my house, and
We
I mean,
appreciate
quite honestly, I said probably one of the most fantastic artists I've ever met in my life. We take him for granted more than anything, but I don't even look at Mitch as a comic book artist. I still love his stuff, but he's the guy that helped me raise my daughter. Me being a single father growing up, working 24-hour shifts at the fire department. How he ended up coming down here was he lived probably about an hour and a half north of us in a little bitty apartment, and we'd bring him down for a signing. Well, every time we bring him down, he'd stay for like 2 or 3 days, then he'd stay for 2 or 3 weeks, and then He stayed for 2 or 3 months, and then
Dude,
finally the last time he came down, I was like, Mitch, you realize you don't live up there anymore. You live here, right?
Yeah.
So we went and cleared out his apartment, and he's been here ever since. But yeah, I mean, he would walk my daughter out to the bus in the morning, and he would help take care of the dogs. Actually, I got a piece he did for somebody here.
Wow, I'm so shocked. Can you find it though? That's
Yes, it's sitting right here.
Sure, you didn't
So,
want to go to a museum?
Yeah.
So he was actually wanting to. The client wants it as a tattoo. It is Falcor, and I think is it Haku from the Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh wow,
Oh,
that
that's
is
awesome!
very cool.
Holy crap, that's gonna make a hell of a tattoo. Mike, you should get that on your back.
I actually have a
The
woodcut
back
of that. Not of those, but a woodcut of 2 dragons as a heart. So,
Well, that's what. Yeah, and that's the best. We kind of take it for granted having him here, but anybody listening, I will say I got to tout Mitch up. He's probably, let's say, one of the most incredible artists. He's one of those weird people that he's never really been a fan favorite, but he's always been an artist favorite. When we go around, like we'll talk to William Stout. First time I ever met Bill Stout, I had mentioned that Mitch lived with us. I was showing him some of the artwork he had done, and Bill came out and was just like totally enthralled, and he was just he was in awe that we knew Mitch personally.
Right on, man. That's you're making sure Mitch isn't throwing stuff out, right? You're going through the garbage. We talked about this last week.
Yeah, no, he's
okay. Make sure he's saving
actually,
everything.
My daughter ends up checking it more than anything. She actually went through, I think it was about 2 weeks ago. She saw some pieces of paper sticking out of the garbage can. She went there, picked them up. She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I
Like, just chuck
Walt
everything.
Flanagan used to do that all the time.
No, we would
so.
dig stuff. I dug stuff out of the garbage. I'm like, you can't throw this out.
That's true. You can't, but he did, and you made a couple bucks off of it, so that's all.
Hey, garbage. If it's below the rim,
it's
fair
yours.
game.
Yes.
The trash. I can't beat trash can fines because back before I owned this shop, I was working in another one, and went out to take some trash out to our dumpster out back, and I saw these boxes around it, and I opened them up and started looking, and Playboys and Penthouse magazines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when I opened it up and looked inside, and there were boxes upon boxes upon boxes of these things.
Yeah.
It was a run. Playboy #1,
What?
all the way up to
Whoa.
I think it was up till like 89,
Yeah.
1989. I made a good bit of money off of those.
Yeah. Wow.
I have no doubt
I
you
just
will.
want to know the story about who's like, I don't need these anymore.
The only thing I think somebody's wife got mad at him and just threw them out.
Even then, like the wife would, whatever.
I had a wife come in with a collection
Oh,
that her husband she's like, I have to sell these. My husband told me that I have to sell these, and it's going to be part of our divorce settlement.
Oh,
She's like, I want him to know. So it's more important to me than money. Like, I want to sell these to you for $100.
oh, all of them, the whole
All of
run.
them.
Oh, yeah, okay. So just
And I'm like,
okay.
what?
Yeah, there's a Hulk 181 in there, and
There wasn't quite that good, but there was a lot of burn X-Men. I'm like, are you sure about this? She's like, give me $100. And so I gave her $100, and I'm like, are you sure about this? And she's like, he's not here. He dumped me for a younger woman. Give me $100. So I did it.
Rub it in his face,
And
man.
she left, and 2 hours later she came back with like 5 more boxes. Like, here, these are his too. This is included in the $100.
Oh, you include.
And I'm like,
it in.
are you sure about that? She's like, yes. And there was 1 box of Playboys. So yeah.
well,
Even
honestly, that's one of the things too. And let me ask you this: we saw it on the show, but this is one thing I religiously will not do. I don't ever pay. I will pay cash for comics, but I'm getting a driver's license. I'm getting all their information because I never want to come in. I want a way to contact people. If somebody comes there and says, "Oh, well, you bought a stolen collection," I'm like, "Oh, well, okay, here's a person."
Now you're a pawn shop. You gotta keep it for 30 days. Like,
you actually, to be honest with you, you almost have to, because I can't. I mean, there's been times where I come in, and I've always. Here's how I judge things on how much I pay for them. If it's something I know I can turn around and say, if I've got a buyer for it that I can sell it within a week, I can give you a whole lot more for it than I can if I'm going to sit on it a month or 2 months or 3 months, however long I think I'm going to sit on it. I can give you. I mean, I've given up to 80% of the value because I knew I could. Because it was something I knew I had buyers for. I mean, I've got a list here of certain books people are looking for, and if it walks in the store, all I have to do is make a phone call, and they're going to be here within 15 minutes to buy it. And those type of books, I'll give a more than I ever would normally. But same thing goes. If it's something, I don't care if it's a key issue or not. If it's something nobody's looking for, you may be lucky to get 10 or 15% value out of it because I'm going to sit on it forever, and I may not even sell it until I have like a half off sale for something.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
That's why
That's a lot of people don't
that's why you got to give them a quarter of what the value is because you're taking all the risk. So,
well, it's like even we have a probably about $80 to $100 dollar boxes, and same thing. My rule of thumb is if it's stuff that's going to go in there, I usually buy them for about 3 to 5 cents a piece because we do sales where we sell them by the pound. We do sales where we sell them 10 for $1.
Yeah, we don't count the dollar.
I did that once. Remember comics by the pound? I did that. It
not
didn't work out so well. But
actually, it works tremendously. We did them for like $2 a pound, and honestly, I was able to get rid of a lot of stuff. Now, in hindsight, now some of the stuff that's coming up, like off Key Collector, there's stuff I know was in our dollar boxes. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Matter of fact, there's something that came in. There was something out of Fandom. Did I sell it yet?
I can't remember.
Maybe behind me. Oh, here it is, right here.
Where did I put that?
Speaking of John Byrne, this was one of the things that came out, and there was a dollar book all day long. Now they're going for $20-25.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for the tip.
There's a few other ones out of that too. Let's see, what else was it? This Green Lantern 173, the first appearance of Javelin.
Nice.
Okay.
That's going for about $5 to $10.
He was in Suicide Squad.
Right on, man.
Cool.
So yeah, a lot of those characters that they announced for the Suicide Squad, all their first appearances are going for silly money. Believe it or not, that countdown number 31. I know. Oh, there it is. It's right here, actually.
Right behind you.
The glare. Yeah. This book's going for about $15 right now because it's got a 3 Joker storyline in it way before the 3 Jokers.
Oh God. Okay. Cool.
Right on, man.
Again, thanks for the tip.
Yes.
So peruse those dollar boxes pretty well.
Never know. Right on. All right, I gotta run. I gotta take my kid out to Italian Ice.
Yeah, it's his birthday. Yeah, go enjoy yourself, Mike. Thank you for hanging out with me too. And
my pleasure. Thanks so much, Scott.
We will talk to everybody soon.